Okay. Bi'ur Mishnah Vav. We're going to continue with Mishnah Vav. Odehu asal al ktefo. Oh, so up to now, we're finished. We know all the details. We know who gets what. We know all the procession, all the parade, all the way from Be'er Sheva, all the way from whenever, all the way to Israel, all the way to Beit HaMikdash. But there's one more thing, one more detail that we need to know. What's the last detail? The declaration. Odehu asal al ktefo. When the basket is still on the person's shoulder, what does it mean? Hainu kodem shemasro lakohen. It means right before he gives it to the Kohen. Kore, he makes a declaration. What does he say? Mehegadti hayom laHashem Elokecha. From the beginning, which is I say I am declaring today to God your God. This is like we already mentioned. This is Mishna Bikkurim. Ad shegomer kol parasha. He says it. He reads it until the entire parasha of Bikurim in the Torah. He reads the entire parasha. Kol parashat Mikra Bikurim, the entire portion that has to do with Bikurim. Kmo shebe'anu beperek aleph. We already covered from Arami Oved Ivri all the way. Thank you Hashem for bringing me into the land and Eretz Zavat Chalav Udvash. All the way from there. That's every Jew that brings the Bikurim has to say it. Has to declare. That's right. That's right. Rabbi Yehuda says, Ad Arami Oved Ivri. He says it until that portion, until Arami Oved Avi. כלומר, שבעוד הסל על כתפו אינו קורא אלא את הפסוק, הגדתי היום להשם אלוקיך. So according to Rabbi Yehuda, there's a whole ceremony over here. You can't just say it. You don't just say the thing. There's a ceremony. It says, what do you have to do? It means you're coming with the basket on your shoulder, and then you say the verse, הגדתי היום להשם אלוקיך, I declare in front of you God today, כי באתי אל הארץ אשר נשבע השם לאבותינו לתת לנו, that I came to the land that God our God made an oath to give to us. And then Rabbi Yehuda says, הגיע לארמי עובד אבי. Once he reached that portion where it says, ארמי עובד אבי, כלומר, לאחר שגמר את הפסוק הראשון, when he finished the first verse, what does he do? There's a ceremony. הרי הוא מוריד הסל מעל כתפו ואוחזו בשפתותיו. He takes the basket from his shoulders and he holds it like this, in his edges. בשפת הסל למעלה, in the edge of the basket on top. And what happens then? כהן מניח ידו תחתיו. The Kohen is going to put their hands underneath the basket. ומניפו. And then they're going through the waving. We're going to see what the waving is soon. כמו ששנינו, like we explained, שהביקורים טעונים תנופה. That the bikurim needs a waving. And then after the waving, or during the waving, קורא אחר כך, he reads after that, מארמי עובד אבי, עד שהוא גומר כל הפרשה. And then he reads from ארמי עובד אבי until he finishes the entire parasha. כל פרשת מקראת הביקורים. And then in the end, what does he do? מניחו. He places את סל הביקורים, the basket of ביקורים, בצד המזבח, on the side of the altar, בקרן דרומית מערבית, southwest corner, והשתחווה. And then he bows down, בפישוט ידיים ורגליים נגד ההיכל, he bows down towards the בית המקדש, towards the היכל, ויוצא מן המקדש. And then he finishes, that's finished, after he bows down, then he can go out. The ceremony is done.
פיסוק, השתחווה פישוט ידיים ורגליים.
All the way down. Like we do in Yom Kippur. Like we do in Yom Kippur.
Yom Kippur.
The same thing we do in Yom Kippur, that's the way to do it. לפי פשט לשון המשנה. So now we have a problem. It looks like there's a disagreement between the Tanakama and Rabbi Yehuda. Tanakama, it looks like he's saying it, you can read it whenever you want. You bring it and you read it. There's no ceremony. And Rabbi Yehuda says, no, it has to be in a specific way. So let's look. לפי פשט המשנה לא יוצא. According to the simple explanation of the Mishnah, it comes out שלדעת תנא קמא, even he reads it different. He reads that, you know what Rabbi Yehuda disagrees? Rabbi Yehuda disagrees because Rabbi Yehuda says there needs to be a tnufa. And according to the Tanna Kama, the Kohen doesn't need to have the waving. That's what some people read the Mishnah. That's very strange to read it this way. I didn't read it this way.
I know, because we learned the tnufa.
No, not because of that. Because if you look at the Mishnah itself, just go to the beginning of the Mishnah, just read until you get to Rabbi Yehuda, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't mention the word tnufa at all. It looks like that. He's saying that the Tanna Kama is not mentioning tnufa at all. I was thinking that where Rabbi Yehuda was disagreeing with Tanna Kama was not about the tnufa. The tnufa, I was thinking they both agree. I was thinking that it's agreeing that according to Rabbi Yehuda there needs to be a ceremony. You need to say it in specific places. But I thought that also the Tanna Kama requires tnufa. He learns it not. He learns that the Tanna Kama doesn't even require tnufa. That's the way he learns it. I thought that Rabbi Yehuda almost like explains the Tanna Kama, but he looks like he completely disagrees with the Tanna Kama. Okay, but let's continue. לפי פשט המשנה יוצא שלדעת תנא קמא אין צריך תנופה כלל. It comes out that the first person who wrote the Mishnah, the Tanna Kama, according to his opinion, you don't need the all ceremony with the Kohen at all. וכל הסיפא היא מדברי רבי יהודה, and the entire end with the waving, that's only Rabbi Yehuda's opinion. ונמצא גם שההלכה כרבי יהודה, and we find that also the law is like Rabbi Yehuda. וכן פירשו התוספות, and this is really what it is. In other words, the Tanna Kama disagrees with Rabbi Yehuda, but we go like Rabbi Yehuda. That's why we do the tnufa. But there's an opinion that you don't do waving at all. אבל בעל תוספות יום טוב מתחבט בפירוש במשנתנו. But the Tosfos Yom Tov has a hard time with this explanation. He says it doesn't look correct. Mipnei, why? He brings the Rambam. Because the Rambam ma'atik bechiburo et kol ha-seifa. The Rambam brings in his book of laws the entire ending. Ve'ilu bepirusho lemishnatenu הוא כותב, and in his explanation to our Mishnah he writes, she'en halacha keRabbi Yehuda. He writes that the halacha is not like Rabbi Yehuda. So if the halacha is not like Rabbi Yehuda, then there's no waving. והרי לפי זה יוצא שהסייפה, according to this, it comes at the end, הגיע לארמי עובד אבי מוריד הסל וכולו, מדברי תנא קמא, according to תנא קמא. ברם בעל תוספות יום טוב מסיק, so how does בעל תוספות יום טוב explains it? שפירושיו דחוקים הם. It says it's hard to say this way. ונראה לו, so it says, I have to explain the Rambam. What is the Rambam saying? So he says שרבי יהודה לא בא כלל לחלוק על תנא קמא. אלא לפרש דבריו. He says, Rambam is saying Rabbi Yehuda is not... The Rambam is saying Rabbi Yehuda is not going against the Tanna Kama. It looks like, what is he doing? He comes to explain the Tanna Kama. He says the Tanna Kama says you can say it whenever you want. And the Rabbi Yehuda says, and this is the way you say it. He says it's not, even according to the Tanna Kama, you can say it wherever you want. So do it this way. It's not going against the Tanna Kama. And then it comes out that Tanna Kama agrees with the inyan of Tnufa. And then we don't have a problem.